Welcome to Masters of Luxury. Today we have with us Roshini Vadehra, gallerist and curator, director of Vadehra Art Gallery in New Delhi, has quietly redefined the role of a gallerist in South Asia. Founded by her father, Arun Vadehra, in 1987, Roshini has steered the legacy of the Vadehra Art Gallery with innovation and curating a platform that upholds India's modern masters and emerging visionaries. How investment friendly is art today?
Personally, as a gallerist, I don't really encourage people to buy art as an investment because I feel that there are serious risks attached to it. By the time you pay your capital gains tax and you pay your commission while selling the work, there may not be that much left. Having said that, of course, a lot of people have made a lot of money with art over the years. People who've kind of had the right vision, the right taste, had the right luck, picked up the right pieces and then waited on them really for a solid more than a decade, and then have decided to part with it for whatever reason. They've made enormous sums of money. But as a gallerist, I tend to be a bit conservative. I tell people to really buy art for the love of it. Of course, I always expect everyone's money to remain safe. So that's definitely something that we all keep in mind while we are making a serious acquisition. But then the rest, you kind of leave it to luck.
As a collector yourself, what are the things that you keep in mind while choosing a particular piece?
I allow myself to be quite instinctive and often do things impulsively. Over the years, I've been through phases where I decided I wanted to buy more photography or wanted to buy more international art, and then I said, okay, no, I'll buy more women artists. But really, today, I feel that the most important thing for me is to buy work of an artist where I can be part of their journey. And so more and more I'm kind of focusing on South Asian art, very often on artists who I represent because I have the luxury of spending time with them in their studio and really understanding what their journey is. And I feel extremely privileged to be able to do that.
Tell us about a few artists that you think that the world should know about from South Asia right now.
Well, an artist we all at the gallery feel very strongly about is Arpita Singh, and she had an incredible moment this year when Serpentine decided to do her solo exhibition, a retrospective in London. It was really one of its kind. Other artists who I feel very strongly about are Sudhir Patwardhan. I think he's also someone who's having a moment now, and I'm a huge admirer of his. I also think he's a wonderful person. That helps. Ghulam Mohammad Sheikh, another artist who recently had a retrospective at the Kiran Nadar Museum. Shilpa Gupta, a more kind of contemporary conceptual artist who, really kind of taking her work to every part of the world and is being recognized for it.
How do you think the art kaleidoscope, especially in India, has evolved over the last 2 decades?
I think the collector today is far more evolved and educated than they were 2 decades ago. The internet has played a massive role in it. Social media has played a massive role in it. COVID, in some sense, gave an incredible push to the art world because everyone went online and saw so much more there and were able to start wanting to be a part of this world.
How do you envision the future of the Vadehra Art Gallery, say, in the next 2 decades?
I have to say that my father was so extremely ambitious when it came to Indian art as a whole. His ambition was really to build the market. He wasn't thinking only of the gallery. He was thinking about Indian art as a whole, and he did everything he could to build a market and to take steps that had not been taken before. Whether it was the first Christie's auction that he made happen, he went to the Christie's office in London and asked them to do an Indian art auction, or whether he got NGMA to do their first exhibition of a living artist. That had never been done before. So really at every step, he was breaking barriers and making things happen. I think a lot of things that he was able to do were because of the relationships he built with artists, with collectors. There was a lot of love and luck that he got from the community. So in many ways, I hope to continue that journey. So whether it is our participations in art fairs or exhibitions that we do in different parts of the world, or what we do to bring international art to India. So these are, some of the steps that we are taking.
What are the lessons you've learned over the years and you kind of want to share for anyone who wants to maybe tread a similar path?
I think the most major lesson that I've learned over the years is just simply relationship building. Whether it is with the artists, with the collectors, with our internal team at the gallery, it's really something that I feel goes above and beyond anything else. So whether it's a gallerist who's just starting out, I would advise for them to build trust and goodwill with other gallerists, with artists, with collectors. Whether it's a collector starting out, I would tell them to spend more time with other collectors, curators, gallerists. I think that more than anything, that's what is going to work for anybody.
Tell me about maybe those artists that have really shaped your perception of what art stands for you today.
I mean, of course, growing up, I ended up spending a lot of time with the masters. They would be in and out of the house. People like Hussain, Ramkumar, Tayyab Mehta. Hussain would end up staying over at our house all the time. So he became like a grandfather figure to me. I mean, those are real memories that I treasure even now. And then when I started my career in 2004, I was extremely lucky to work on some incredible exhibitions. Like my first exhibition, one of my first exhibitions was of Rabindranath Tagore, Amrita Shergill and Jamini Roy, and they were works hanging in this gallery. I mean, now I can't even imagine a moment like that to happen 2 decades later. One of the first contemporary shows that I worked on was Anju Dodia, and that was really the boom time in the industry, and I saw people fighting over work, and it was so exciting, and I realized that what a privilege it is to be part of something like that.
A simple question, what does art really mean to you?
Art for me honestly has become my life. I must say that I literally live, breathe, sleep art all the time. For me, it's like literally everything that I am today.
An artist, or maybe a couple of artists from the past who you would have loved to engage with, who would these artists be and why?
There are 3 artists who I regret not having been able to meet. One is Gaitonde, whose work is absolutely beautiful, so sublime, and I know that he was a very reticent man. Another artist is Bhupen Kakkar. I'm a great admirer of his work. I don't have it. I hope I do one day, but I hear that he had an incredible sense of humor, and everyone around him would just be laughing. And also, he broke so many barriers in the work that he did. I wish I could have met him. And then there's Souza, who's probably one of my favorite artists ever. And he was controversial, to say the least, and I believe not always so pleasant, which is why I would have liked to meet him.
What is that one piece of art that's dearest to you as a collector today?
I think that would have to be the first work I ever bought. It is a work called Hug by Anju Dodia from one of the first exhibitions I worked on. It's extremely special to me.